Hey folks, seeing as how my last video was about mostly negative subjects, I figured I'd come back with one quickly that had a more positive message and some hopefully useful advice. For as long as I can remember, I've been fascinated by ideas and the manner in which we communicate them, and it seems to me that particularly now, in this era of pandemic and lockdown, that much of our communication happens in the virtual realm. I'm certain that by now, most of us are pretty much familiar with the benefits of being able to communicate electronically. Mostly, you can get your ideas out to a large audience without having to worry about physical barriers to communication. That is, of course, as long as the big tech platforms don't censor you before anyone else can hear what you've got to say. In its most positive form, this broad capacity for communication fosters better understanding and helps to break down social and cultural barriers. However, as with any platform which has the power to be used for good, these can also be used to cause harm needlessly. A side effect of communicating by way of text on a screen is that it removes a lot of the context and social cues that would otherwise be picked up on in normal human interaction. If you're in a situation where you don't have to be particularly concerned about the consequences of your behavior towards other people, that makes it much easier to allow the darker side of your nature to take control of how you behave. Proof of my argument here isn't even really difficult to find. Just go to any major social media platform, and if you go to a public post, you probably won't even have to scroll for more than 10 comments before you come across someone who has something negative to say. It is an unfortunate fact that if a stranger hasn't called you an idiot for seemingly no reason at all, you probably haven't spent much of your life online. Take me, for example. Because I choose to share my thoughts in this format, from time to time I receive negative comments about the sound of my voice or the way in which I speak. What the people who make those complaints can't possibly be aware of, though, is that I am a quadriplegic, and as a child I had to have extensive speech therapy in order to be able to speak clearly at all. Therefore, unless a person is actively engaging with the content of what I've said, their opinion of how I sound or the manner in which I choose to express myself is of very little consequence in my life. If there is one piece of mockery I will remember, though, it's the time someone told me I sound like Margaret Thatcher on morphine, because purely from a creative perspective, I appreciate the cleverness of that insult. So, what exactly is my goal in talking about this? Well, it's to give you a piece of advice as to what I think you should do when you encounter situations like these. When someone tries to cause you pain, the first human impulse is to attempt to hurt them back. But in online situations, being dragged into a bout of mudslinging is precisely what most of these people want out of the interaction. So by doing it, all you succeed in is giving them the power that they crave. A far more productive method of dealing with these people, assuming you don't just choose to ignore them outright is to look at their comment and try and find something in it that you can play off in a clever way. Because if you can take something negative that a person has said and use it creatively in a way that doesn't automatically insult them back, most of them won't know what to do or how to respond, because you've cut the legs out of their whole plan. In my opinion, this is the best way to handle trolls, because not only do you get to have fun, you also break the cycle of negativity that they are trying to lure you into. In summary, I believe that the best solution to cruelty on the internet is not an increase in censorship, but rather encouraging people to learn to take control and master their own emotions. Because if you can master your emotions, nothing anyone says can have a truly negative impact on your life. That's all from me for today, and for now, farewell.